maybe Joe Nemechek. I haven't seen if he came out or not. But these are guys that are trying to make the race. Oh, we got trouble.
I think it's raining. It's raining over there.
It is raining on the back straightaway.
All over the racetrack.
What happened here?
Mike Bliss, one of those that broke free. You see the 97 of Joe Nemechek, and heavy damage.
That's Benny Gordon, the 91 car.
To Benny Gordon at 91 machine.
Just all of a sudden, it was
Richardson Jr.
Look at the racetrack.
Look at a cloud burst, guys.
It's not even the whole backstretch. It's just halfway down the backstretch.
And there's the 55 of Ross Chastain here in the opening round of qualifying with 7 minutes and 43 seconds remaining. As we look one more time at what happened as these cars got up to speed down the back straightaway.
See Mike Bliss, they're just all of a sudden, and then you can see the rooster tail that these cars are, and they're going every direction.
I almost thought, Jeff, that Mike felt the rain and was trying to pull over, and as he did that, the car cut loose and went sideways.
You see the car get away from him. Again, there's no tread on these tires, folks, so when you hit something slick, hydroplanes, I mean, it's just like being on ice.
Saw Eric McClure in the 14 car, nowhere to go.
Rain and Daytona is not really uncommon. It happens on a daily basis, probably every hour. But what is uncommon is NASCAR not throwing the caution flag or red flagging it because of rain in the area. This has happened before, but I mean, usually they're pretty good about it. But in 2014, during the NASCAR Nationwide Series qualifying at Daytona, it started pouring down rain on the backstretch, wrecking so many cars and them all having to go to a backup car before the first race of the season. This was just an awful look by NASCAR.
Kyle Busch into the wall will bring out our fourth caution of the night, and there was no question he got turned.
Wow. Yeah, there was definitely no question there.
You all right, Kyle?
He's got his neck down before the car is even stopped. He is hot. Yeah.
Kyle Busch leading this race. Caught a big break early after having to make an unscheduled pit stop.
Some are on new and some are on old. And as we see these guys, you see the 18 get the run, and they just hook bumpers right there. Wow.
That's how can you hook bumpers going down the back straightaway?
I'd like to see. I want to see this angle because you see one going over to him and Kyle coming up. You hook bumpers when both people are crossing each other.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? One's going left and one's going right. I'm not, that's a bad deal, but I think the 18 thought he was cleared, and I don't know what the 42 was thinking at that time, but it's going for the same place on the racetrack. But that's definitely, it always amazes me at Daytona we have so many crashes in the middle of the straightaway.
Kyle Petty's right. This is such a weird crash. Montoya would go down the track a little bit, but Kyle Busch would just go up and wreck himself. This is probably one of the biggest questionable crashes a driver's done in his racing career. Kyle Busch is a very skillful driver, but this was one of the biggest mistakes he ever made. He was a king at Daytona in those summer races in the mid-2010s. He was so close to winning so many of them, but it was mistakes like this that would cause him to not.
Now watch Jimmy Johnson outside, second row.
Oh, they got four wide. What happened was the one car, he snuck to the outside of the 48 getting into turn 3, and the 6 tried to go to the inside.
During the 2017 Daytona 500, down the backstretch in the closing laps, Jimmy Johnson would set off a massive crash that would ensue, crashing multiple cars and a lot of great contenders. It was entering turn number 3 when Trevor Bayne would get into Johnson, and he would pull down the racetrack, collecting Clint Bowyer, Kevin Harvick, the eventual winner Kurt Busch, and multiple other fast cars on that afternoon. Unfortunately, a lot of the big names were taken out in this accident, and they were unable to complete and finish the Daytona 500.
Harvick slides up in front of traffic.
Cars upside down, cars everywhere.
And turn 4 is Calamity corner once again. The field is frozen. Jeff Gordon came across with Stewart and Johnson side by side, but there are half a dozen cars littered between turn 3 and the start-finish line.
All right.
Last year's third-place finisher, Scott Wimmer, the 29 of Kevin Harvick, the 42 of Jamie McMurray.
One of these cars was just standing up on its nose, swimming, spinning around like a water spout.
Greg Biffle. Jeff Burton had lost an engine prior to this. He coasts onto pit road between turns 3 and 4.
Because something happened to Greg Biffle, the 16 car that triggered all this.
I'm pleased. Watch it. See if it's Harvick's car. Oh, no, it's the 22 car.
Scott Wimmer.
Look at him just spinning around. He got up on his nose and come back down on his wheels.
In Knoxville, Chandler Smith did his job. Oh, and there's the big pileup. Oh, this is going to bring out the caution again. Oh boy, they're just piling the thumbs up. That started really near the front, didn't it?
Yeah, it looked like about 8th spot back. Like the 34 was sideways, whether he got the back out on his own or he got help, I don't know here. Where is he? Oh, he did that. Yeah. Oh, 34 got sideways and just got aggressive trying to get going, got the back out and couldn't get it back, and then Austin Wayne Self involved as well.
Big damage already to the 11.
Got damage.
So NASCAR will probably stay green right here as opposed to the oval where we go caution for these kind of events. On a road course, they'll just stay green. Same place Denny had trouble earlier today, this time for a different reason.
Just barely caught it there, but sent him up the wall, or up the track into the wall. Along there, let's take a look.
Oh boy. My goodness.
Oh, and I'm sure Kyle was coming over to apologize.
Some sort of mechanical issue on the 5 car for him. Look at that. He is flying when he comes in there.
So I heard him say, I have a pedal.
This is one of the weirdest crashes at Indianapolis Motor Speedway that has ever happened, in my opinion. I don't think anything's ever been weirder than this one. Well, maybe when the curb broke that one year. But besides that, Kyle Larson either broke a brake pedal, missed his braking point, or just some unknown reason. But he would fly into turn number 1 at full speed into Ty Dillon. Thankfully, both drivers were okay at this accident, but it was one of the scariest crashes we've seen in NASCAR Indianapolis or any other time like this. It's very rare that you see a road course somebody lose brakes and they go full on into another car. But thankfully, they were both okay.
Oh, trouble. Danica Patrick.
That could have been some tandem drafting gone wrong. That's the one risk with this style of racing.
Very wet grass down there. Hopefully she can get out of it. Kyle Larson's pushing her. And he hooked her. She got turned to the right and hit the wall.
And that's really kind of an inexperienced thing.
Stay on the bottom
Kyle
if you
Larson
can.
doesn't have a lot of experience with this.
Got a bunch coming around you.
Over these closing 8 laps coming up. Oh, they got together at 3. Whoa! McDowell goes up high. Larson is in it. Reddick's in it. Logano, Wallace, Haley. That all started in turn 3. Cindric tried to lift to prevent it from happening, but he did not lift quick enough. It's the second. Tries to get to the outside, lifts right there, and still contact. And then, look at this. Whoa. And Michael McDowell, who knows what it's like to have a massive crash at a high-speed track.
In the final race to make the 2024 playoffs, Michael McDowell was leading the pack into turn number 1 until he would be spun out and collect Joe Logano, Kyle Larson, and everybody else behind him. McDowell's car would almost go on its roof as it would fly in the air on its side and land back down on all 4 tires.
Loose right there in the middle.
Is Kyle weaving the car?
He had been cutting it.
Oh, trouble.
Big. That's gonna be big.
Casey Kane gets turned around. Greg Biffle involved. Mark Martin is there. No caution has come out. They're going to let him race back as Gordon piles in, and now the caution.
6. You knew that was going to be big when you saw the 9 coming back across the racetrack.
Okay, here's what happened final lap. Casey, and I'm going to put a big block on him, and that's what it was. He put and man, once you get that grass, you're done.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a hit, man.
Wow.
That was a hit.
That was a hard hit. The 16 and the 5 just drove into the side of the 9, had no place to go. The Mark Martin and Biffle took the hard hits right there. And then you see 24 come into it.
On the final lap at Pocono in 2010, Casey Kane was blocked by A.J. Allmendinger, his teammate, which would send him spinning back up across the racetrack into Mark Martin and Greg Biffle. Kane's car would catapult in the air with the rear of his car in the air first, sending it almost over the wall and onto the bushes in the backstretch. Thankfully, Kane was okay after this accident, but man did he get some air. And it's surprising because back then in these COT cars, you didn't see them get air like that. You saw them blow over and flip, but getting one to go in the air and on top of the wall, that was pretty wild.
Run off turn 4. It's going to be a drag race all the way back to the start-finish line. No caution. They're side by side, right to the line. Dog crash. Here they come. Checker flag. Kevin Harvick wins the Daytona 500. We got one car on his roof coming across the
is on fire. Jeff Gordon's wrecked.
And they are still wrecking.
Montoya, Stremme, Kenseth, Biffle, Marlin, Carl Edwards, Casey Mears all crashed on the final lap. Have you ever?
Well, a couple of times.
I'm going to repeat what I heard a few years ago. No, I have never.
I got so excited I broke the damn mirror in half.
Jeff Gordon's day ends about like his teammates.
Clint Boyer came across the start-finish line on his roof.
I've seen fire and I've seen rain.
David Stremme's climbed out. He is okay. Sterling Marlin. It'll come in here from the right. In the bottom lane. Clint Boyer. Gets slid sideways. Whammo.
And he'll cross the start-finish line unofficially upside down in the 18th position.
On fire. I mean, that's Joey Chitwood couldn't do that. Goodness. That's terrifying.
Early on, the 14th car spinning down pit road, actually hit the pit wall.
Some of the craziest crashes you'll ever see is definitely at Daytona, and most of the time it's in the Daytona 500 when they're driving at full speed trying to get every inch they can to win the Great American Race. But the final lap and the final corner of the race in 2007 saw an epic drag race line between Kevin Harvick and Mark Martin. Harvick would pick up the win, and Harvick's teammate Clint Boyer would have a wreck of his own. He would flip upside down, on fire, and cross the start-finish line. Now, if that isn't the most Clint Boyer thing to ever happen, I don't know what is. Boyer was definitely a character in NASCAR as he still does some commentary, but man, this was a wild way for Clint Boyer to end the 2007 Daytona 500.
Scenarios for sure, and well, we got some action going on before we ever get started here. But it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. We think we know what we want to do if we can just make all of that happen.
Yeah, we had a couple of guys get together coming down for the signal. 1 lap to go, DJ.
Yeah, it looked like Mark was trying to warm up his tires and maybe got a little loose and came over into the 48. So I don't know if there's any damage, but we'll have to see what happens.
Wow, that's weird.
That is weird.
And the top 2 guys in the championship before we even get started.
And as I said, there is damage. I saw damage to the right front tire, right front fender. Let's see what we can tell what might have happened.
Well, you see Mark on the outside, front row.
Left front down so far that the tire hit the fender there, Mark.
That wasn't it, buddy. It was mechanically bound. It was locked. It wasn't a fender.
What in the world? I have no idea.
He's talking like the way he's talking to Ben Leslie is all of a sudden it just locked up. He was turning it left, and it would not turn back to the right. It just locked up.
This is something you never expect to see. At Talladega, you always expect to either win the race or be wrecked. It's how it is. But imagine being wrecked before the race even started. And what was extremely unfortunate were these were 2 of the top championship contenders, Jimmie Johnson and Mark Martin. Apparently something in Martin's car would break and he would hit Jimmie Johnson with about 1.5 laps left before they went green. Chad Knaus, Jimmie Johnson's crew chief, pleaded with NASCAR officials to let them wave off the start of the race and let them come to pit road and fix their race car. NASCAR was going to do no such thing, and even Mark Martin had to relinquish second place and bring his car down pit road right as the race started, losing so many points as the race got going. Unfortunately for Jimmie Johnson, his day would get even worse, being caught up in multiple wrecks.
And potentially he's going to clear him off for turn 4. They're side by side to turn 1. Taylor Gray back to the race lead. 3 of the last 6 races at Martinsville have had a last lap pass. Sammy Smith is there. Justin Allgaier is there. Will there be contact? There is. There goes Gray. Here comes Allgaier. Austin Hill out of nowhere is going to win in Martinsville. Do you believe that? With a huge crash at the start-finish line. Lead here, and then just to come from this far back, though, I mean, this is just, that's too much. No one wants to see that. If you're a young kid watching this, that's too far.
10 leaders sets a new track record. Austin Hill leads only the last lap, but in dramatic fashion, he wins for a 2nd time this season.
You would think after the previous race at Richmond in the NASCAR Cup Series that people wouldn't dive bomb it into turn 3 and wreck first place. And yet, Sammy Smith, the NASCAR Xfinity Series driver, still did that. He sent it in on Taylor Gray, driver the number 54 car, after being moved out of the groove. Taylor Gray was extremely upset with Sammy Smith, but he was able to keep his composure in his post-race interview. But a lot of people were mad at Sammy Smith.